All right, this is a warning for anyone that is in Baked Beans 2.0. There's been a lot of issues with people claiming. It has to do with the claim window and the taxation if you claim outside that window, and something that was misrepresented to us. So let's talk about the two things first. When you make your first initial deposit into the Baked Beans contract, the clock starts, and it's really like on a 10-day countdown. Now, if you were to just time it out in your head and say, okay, after the 10th day, on the 10th day, I'm going to claim, that's not how it works. You have to go by the hours. So let's bust over to the white paper where it says, okay, so in order to have no loss occur and have standard fees, so no additional tax that's going to go over into that has-been tax or whatever that goes into the giveaway wallet and all that type of stuff, you need to claim between hours 216 and 240. Which is in between day 9 and day 10. So you have to claim in that range to not take an additional loss. A lot of people are waiting till the 11th day. They got reset back to day 1 and they paid a 90% tax. A lot of people. So a lot of money is going to that giveaway wallet. I myself was meticulous about the hours that I claimed. I went over to this time calculator website. I'll put a link in the description below to this, but I put in the last day I made a deposit with the time and then 240 hours, and it calculated that I needed to do this today by 5:17 a.m. or I would roll into what is considered the 11th day. Unfortunately, some information we thought was true is not true. New deposits do not reset your clock. So if you make an initial deposit here of 1 BNB and you come in the next day and say, hey, I think what I'm going to do is throw in another 2 BNB, I'm feeling good about this, that does not reset your 10 days. So this clock is actually helpful now. First off, for the first couple of days, it was wrong. The clock was not correct. It wasn't displaying the wrong time. So that's really unfortunate because that originally taught me not to trust the clock in the first place. I'll just use my time calculator like I just showed you, and that way I'll know the exact hour range to claim. But as it turns out, new deposits do not reset that clock. So if you make, so here's what I did. I put a BNB on the first day, I put more in on the second day, and I put more in on the third day. My assumption was that it would be 10 days from that last deposit. That would be my claim day. So as you saw, I worked out those hours, but what really happened to me is I got to the 10th day for my initial deposit. I got the 10th day, 11th day, 12th day, and I think I got hit with an 80% tax. So for me, the tax that it took, what it took away from me was 2.1 BNB. So that means I basically lost out on $600 that I should have received. So extremely frustrating. And I know there's no refunds in DeFi. I wish they would find a way to get this fixed. In my opinion, this would be easily fixed by the UI. Like a disclaimer down here that says when this is between this many hours and this many hours, that's the optimal time to claim. So all it would take is one line of text right here to say this is the range you want to claim in to get a zero tax. That would be the easy way to do it, and that's assuming that this clock is correct, which I think now it actually is. As soon as you set your initial deposit in there, that clock starts, and it doesn't matter whether you put 10 BNB on the 6th day or 5 BNB on the 7th day. It's always going to run off the first deposit you made, and any additional deposits just add to your TVL and increase your your 3x possible balance over time. So if the clock is actually right, put a disclaimer. If not, if you really wanted to upgrade the UI, because the UI definitely leaves a lot to be desired as far as any analytics or anything, it's just about as simple as it can get. I know a lot of other contracts that when you go to say eat beans or claim, it lets you know what rate you're going to be taxed at. There's other protocols that have variable ROIs that say, hey, if you claim right now, this is going to drop you down to 1.25%. Yes to continue, no to cancel the transaction. That would be great here if you said, hey, eat beans, you went in and it's like, oh, it's going to charge you a 90% tax. Like, I missed my day, I'm just going to wait for the next one. That would be extremely helpful. I do not think it's going to happen, but I wanted to make this video just to give everybody fair warning because I watched a few other people going through it and I'm like, I'm not going to go through that. I've got my hours timed perfectly, everything's good, and that was not the case. I lost out on $600, pretty frustrated, but it is what it is. I mean, we're still early in the contract. I think there's like 1.2 million in the contract balance, which is crazy. I still think this is going to be paying out for quite a while. I will say that the only upside is my $600 donation and all the donations of everybody out there who accidentally claimed a couple hours late. Those are going to go over into this giveaway wallet, and I think it's got to reach a certain dollar amount. I think that dollar amount is $100,000. Yep, once the giveaway wallet reaches liquidity of $100,000, it'll be used to disperse accordingly to support the TVL. So with all the people in the protocol that were having issues yesterday and got hit with the 90% tax or like an 80% tax like me, we should be getting to this $100,000 here pretty soon. So hopefully the team does something cool with it. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with the protocol, just a miscommunication, not very clear. The UI could be upgraded and it would solve all of these problems. So just wanted to give you guys fair warning because I know some of you guys are going through it and having this hassle. And if you got in a couple days after me, your claim day is coming up. So make sure those hours are correct before you claim. Happy investing.